So we will begin this meeting as we've been beginning our meetings for the now almost 70-day siege on our city by federal armed agents in the name of immigration enforcement. And we will hear from Council District 14 this morning.
Thank you, Council President. Colleagues, I rise today carrying both the joy of a monumental victory and the deep sorrow of a community under threat. Yesterday, we celebrated the grand opening of the Skid Row Care Campus, a place designed with and for the community where dignity, healing, and hope take center stage. The energy was electric, the joy impossible to contain, and everyone came together to celebrate not just a ribbon cutting, but a bold recommitment to care, compassion, and dignity every Angelino deserves. But while one neighborhood celebrated, another braced itself. Just a short walk away outside the Japanese American National Museum, and during our beloved Nisei Week, and 1 week after we just celebrated our Consul General from Japan, Sonsei, ICE agents suddenly descended and detained someone, a worker delivering produce to one of our small businesses on the regular weekly route. A brown man doing his job. They didn't have a warrant, they couldn't name the charges, and I watched them go after the first person that they saw. This was a stunt in political theater staged during Governor Newsom's press conference on redistricting as California works to strengthen and protect our democracy. Little Tokyo is sacred ground. It has withstood forced removal, incarceration, and wave after wave of displacement. Where that man was taken was outside the Japanese American National Museum, which is a former internment site. And yet this community remains a stronghold of cultural memory, resistance, and resilience. To bring ICE here during its most cherished celebration of Japanese Americans born here in America is an insult to the legacy of those who endured internment and a threat to the values Angelinos uphold. But our communities are not backing down, and I'm proud to be joined today by two leaders who have long stood on the front lines of justice. Jun Hibino of the Nikkei Progressives Immigration Committee, who leads the Little Tokyo Rapid Response Network, will first speak. Jun?
Hello, good morning. And on behalf of Nikkei Progressives, I want to thank Councilmember Harado for your leadership and for inviting myself and my colleague Kimi Maru to speak this morning. Nikkei Progressives is a grassroots, all-volunteer, multi-generational community organization. We're based in Little Tokyo. We believe that people have the human right to seek safety from violence and to work to provide for themselves and their families. And since 2018, we have been supporting immigrants, refugees, and asylum seekers. And we are also part of the Shutdown Adelanto Coalition. We have set up a Little Tokyo Rapid Response Network and have been conducting Know Your Rights training, which my colleague Kimi Maru will talk about. Our Japanese American story, like that of most people in this country, is an immigrant story. It is one of exclusion, exclusionary laws, of being scapegoated, and of being racially profiled as the enemy, and being forced to leave the West Coast, our homes and communities, and shipped off to concentration camps during World War II. And what is happening today is a prelude to what happened 83 years ago. Last November, the City Council unanimously voted to establish the City of LA as a sanctuary city and to prohibit city resources, including property and personnel, from being utilized for any immigration enforcement. So my question to the City Council is, what can be done to protect the City of LA? There are more than 1.35 million immigrants here, comprising over 34% of the city's population. How can school children be protected from having their parents snatched off the street, or even themselves being arrested, as we have seen recently? And how can workers who are just trying to feed their families be protected from being kidnapped by masked federal agents? And what can be done to protect the residents, workers, and those of us who engage in churches and temples, community organizations, and social services in Little Tokyo. Little Tokyo is our cultural and historic center. It is where generations learn about our history and where we practice our culture. It is where we organize our community to work and fight together to improve the conditions of life for all people. And it is our base from where we reach out to others in support and solidarity. Yesterday, Little Tokyo was trampled on and disrespected by masked kidnappers who violated our community and the very space where our parents and grandparents were shipped off to concentration camps. City property and sidewalks were being used for immigration enforcement. So I call on the leaders of Los Angeles to enact some concrete measures that will put some teeth into our sanctuary city laws ordinance. Somehow, we have got to protect our immigrant families who are being terrorized by ICE and CBP and whose children are being traumatized every day. We are looking for leadership from our city leaders. Please don't let us down. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Kimi Maru. I'm a member of Nikkei Progressives, and I happened to be in Little Tokyo yesterday when the ICE raid happened. I was having lunch with friends at Mitsuru Grill and then received a text message through our rapid response network that ICE was in Little Tokyo right in front of Janum. So myself and a couple other people who were there at the restaurant ran down the street to First and Central to see what was going on. Immediately, there were already people out there that were warning, people in Little Tokyo that La Migra was there. They were blowing whistles and trying to alert people to be careful and for people to close up their stores and warning street vendors. So myself and others who are part of the Rapid Response Network notified people that what was going on, and people went door to door to the businesses and restaurants to tell them to lock their doors, that there could be a possible ICE sweep in Little Tokyo. We also told the street vendors along First Street and in the Japanese Village Plaza to do the same. It was really a terrifying experience to see so many armed ICE and CBP people wearing masks where their faces were completely covered, along with glasses and a hat where you could not tell who they were at all. They were holding large rifles and actually, pointing them at people at different times. And it was very intimidating and a really, outrageous show of vicious aggression against our community. I hope that the City Council can do more to stop these kind of things from happening in our community, because it was clearly a case of intimidation and trying to make people feel fearful of just being out, trying to have a regular day, shopping and eating and carrying on their business in Little Tokyo. And it's completely unjust and outrageous that they would do this at a time like this during Nisei Week, as well as it was a political stunt to do while Governor Newsom was having his press conference just like 50 feet away. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimmy and June. And I just want to underscore that yesterday was a peaceful day here in Los Angeles, and that the only violence that we've been seeing in the past couple of months has been the violence that has been brought upon to us by the federal government and their illegal ICE raids. And now I'd like to present Bill Fujioka, former City Administrative Officer for the City of Los Angeles and Chair of the Board of Trustees of the Japanese American National Museum.
Good morning. It's been quite some time since I've been in this chamber. I think my claw marks are on the center table when I was the CAO for the city. My whole life was public service. I spent 44 years, a big portion serving the citizens of the city of Los Angeles, and an even greater portion serving the citizens of the county of Los Angeles. I'm now the board chair of the Japanese American National Museum. Some of you have heard of us. Hopefully some of you have been there. Yesterday, when the arrest took place, it hit a nerve. It hit us deeply, because where the individual was arrested is the exact location where individuals of Japanese heritage were forced on the buses and taken to concentration camps. My family, my mother's family, my father's family were forced on the buses at that site. They ended up in a desolate area of Wyoming, Hart Mountain. We lost everything, folks. I mean everything. The Japanese American National Museum stands for social justice. A lot of museums in this nation started to scrub their websites of any reference to DEI. As a board, as individuals, and as staff at the museum, we made a decision to scrub nothing. We're standing tall for diversity, equity, and inclusion because that's who we are. We feel we're a beacon of social justice. We stand tall for immigrants because what we do is not political. It's honoring our legacy, folks. The legacy of my immigrant grandparents. The legacy of my father who fought in World War II and was a highly decorated veteran. The legacy of my uncle who led the dissenters at Hart Mountain to fight against the injustice. I hope people understand the parallel between what's happening now and what happened in 1942. In 1942, the Alien Enemies Act was enacted, and thousands of Japanese were deported back to Japan. Then Roosevelt signed executive order, another executive order, 9066, which resulted in the incarceration of 125,000 Japanese individuals of Japanese heritage. 60% were American citizens through the birthright provision in our Constitution. We stand in support of all immigrants because I am the grandson of an immigrant. What has to happen now is I hope that our elected leaders, and I'm confident in this because I lived here for so many years, and also the board, will stand up and say, this has to stop. But to arrest someone, I don't think they understand, I don't think the word respect is in the vocabulary. To arrest someone on that plaza where thousands of Japanese Americans or those of Japanese heritage were forced on the buses is something that, I gotta tell you, it just hit me to the core. And people know, some of you have worked with me in the past. I have a little temper, but I had to control that at both times. But for the museum, we're closed right now for renovation. I want you to know what we stand for. We stand for social justice. We stand for DEI. And we will support the rights of everyone living in this community, especially the immigrant community. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, June. Thank you, Kimmy, for all of your leadership and for reminding us that history is not behind us, it's with us every day, and we must meet this moment with clarity and courage that it demands. Yesterday, thanks to several community members who alerted our office, my team and I were able to respond quickly. If you see ICE, please call the LA Rapid Response Network immediately at 1-888-624-4752. I encourage everyone to save this number in their phone. Again, it's 1-888-624-4752. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Jurado. Just a note, members, as things arise in your district and you have people who are comfortable to come tell their stories, we invite you to let us know and bring them to council. We want everyone to hear from them, and we want to create a long public record for what's happening in our city during this terrible siege.
Councilmember Hernandez and I are so pleased and honored today to recognize a monumental, as the monuments are being assembled here, the monumental milestone in the city of Los Angeles history, and that would be the 100th anniversary of the Bureau of Street Lighting. Yeah! 100 years old.
Good morning. Can you tell me which item that I can speak to?
You have 1 minute for general public comment.
One item and general public comment? Okay, let's start with the item. Which item? Is that item 7 or item 8? Which item?
You're in general public comment.
But you said I have one item.
Says you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Okay, well, you just took away 20 seconds of my time. Yes, thank you. I just saw that on the news that LAPD, the city attorney, arrested 11 members of Figueroa prostitution ring. And I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that how racist are you to arrest 11 black people? How racist can you be? I have to work my job on Figueroa, provide $5 per head services in order to earn enough money to take Dana to a big dinner barbecue. Thank you. I need my job on Figueroa.
Be arrested. I'm disabled, so it's taking me time. Hold my time. Candido Maris, public comment. Tell me when I can start, man. Don't start my time. You already started my time. By
You have
God.
one-
You cheat. You cheat. You're no different than Donald Trump. You
Please stop
cheat.
yelling. We've restarted
You
your
cheat.
time.
All right. Now that I've calmed down, I want to thank Ms. Zaroslawski for her community standing up for what's going on in this city. Bill Fukuoka, he was here for over 44 years. I watched and saw him serve as CAO. He did a wonderful job. You know what really bothers me is Trump and the Republicans are doing this, and what are you Democrats doing? Nothing. Nothing. Thank God we had Newsom. Why don't some of you start organizing? Why don't some of you start fighting back? Thank you, Ms. Zev. I mean, all of you talk the big talk, but you walk the small walk. You know, sometimes you got to fight, and that's why I'm here every day. And here is more photos of the Porter Ranch, future Porter Ranch City Council fire. I'd like to submit this to the officers. And again, you do nothing.
Speaker, your time is up.
Nothing.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to a few of the council members who were there yesterday at the ICE raids in front of the Japanese American Theater. I don't know if you guys know, but there was like 100 cars that came out of the federal building to that ICE raid. They couldn't even get on to First Street. They were like around the corner. There was so many cars coming out, and there was a lot of, sorry, I get very emotional about this. This is I was here I saw you guys on Monday. My Nisei Week, 20 years. It's Nisei Week this year. This was mine when I was a princess 20 years ago. And it's still Nisei Week. And so it was kind of shocking to see. Closing ceremonies are this weekend. I hope to see you guys there. So please, if we could have some support and maybe some help with the police. I'm worried that we're going to be like DC and get federalized. We really need the police on, working for our city. If there's something that you guys could do to try and put some precautions. Thank you so much.
I was born in Los Angeles and lived here for a long time, but I don't live within the city boundaries at the moment. Where I do live, the city's legal advisor has been giving advice which is increasingly fringe, to say the least. I can only speculate as to why this is happening, but I sense the same thing is happening here. My point is that an attorney's opinion does not absolve you of having common sense. In 2006, Rocky Delgadillo wrote an opinion that you disregarded when you approved the new rules on swear words. It seems that you've been flouting other accepted practices as well. You owe it to yourselves to seek out lawyers with opposing views, have them swear confidentiality if necessary, and seriously consider that you're being led astray. The danger isn't that the city will be sued. The danger is that you'll be tossed in prison. Thank you.
Woody Dick, I signed up as
Speaker,
I'm going to speak
you have
on
1 minute for general
fucking
public
item
comment.
for one fucking reason. I hate new scum. I hate new scum as much as I hate 15 members of this council like Soto Martinez, who supports wetbacks. He supports immigration like Padilla, the cockroach woman over here, and that other fat burger with no cheese, Hernandez. I demand to recuse her as we did with Price, but we'll go back to Price's issue September 12th when we deal with that fucking developer wife, bitch, second woman in his life. What's her name? Richardson, Robertsons. But again, ladies and gentlemen, help support ICE. We demand ICE. More ice! More
Mr.
ice!
Candido,
More ice!
Mr.
More
Candido,
ice! More ice! More
please
ice!
stop disrupting this meeting. This is your first warning. Mr. Herman, your time is up. Mr. Herman, please stop shouting. This is your first warning.
Hello, I'm Eddie. Good morning. You know, I don't want to be here. I'm so tired. I don't want to be here. I'm here because a lot of people don't show up and voice their feelings. I've been coming here since April, and you guys don't even talk to me. I've sent you emails, and you guys don't respond. Some do. I'm not going to lie. There's like 3 of you that have responded. But Hernandez, you're my person, and you've ignored me. You have ignored me. I have a video. My friend got arrested, and she called out for your name because she's also one of your constituents, and you ignored her. We have the video. We have so much video of you guys. I've been coming here since April. And you guys are going to get shamed. You have already been shamed. Please, listen to us. We're protesters. We care about our community as much as you guys pretend to say that you do. Goodbye.
Speaker, you'll have 1 minute for general
comment.
public comment.
I don't understand all the confusion with IC. Almost anyone can get in this nation. It's so easy. I don't know what I'm talking about. But people come and go out of here so quick, it's not even funny. If they wanted to stop it, maybe they should block some of those holes. I don't believe the president is that vicious to have all white men looking after people that they don't think belong here. But I believe he has more compassion than that. I also believe that he would handle it better if they didn't have all white men looking for people to deport. And I don't believe they're looking for deportees. I believe they're looking for people that commit crimes. And a lot of these people coming here, they're not committing crimes. They want jobs and to live peacefully. Again, I don't believe there are holes in here that they can get in real quick. If I was smart enough, I could get in and out of here real quick, but I don't know how to do it.
Congratulations to our city attorney's office, the Los Angeles Police Department, the sheriff's, the mayor's office. Literally all of my life living in Los Angeles, there has been rampant, open, and blatant prostitution along Figueroa Boulevard. When I first got elected, I asked our previous city attorney to set up a task force, and that didn't go very far. This city attorney set up a task force, brought in the federal government, the state government, and as well as the county sheriffs, set up an operation. We've been able to reduce street activity significantly. And just this week, we got 11 people charged in a federal indictment for sex trafficking of minors. And I want folks to know, like, they're picking up folks who are as young as 12 years old, mostly girls, but some boys. We've been working with organizations like Sister Friends, Away Home, and a number of other organizations, as well as our law enforcement who've been working together to get these arrests done. So I wanted to acknowledge their work in a public way. And again, it doesn't mean that prostitution is going away on Figueroa, but it shows the world that this community does not accept this, and we're going to do everything we can to root it out as fast as we can. So again, please, a big round of applause for our city attorney and our law enforcement folks.